Hey guys, hello and welcome to Goodwood for Speed. In today's video, I am very excited to bring to you, to show you the YangWang U9. It comes from BYD, and today I've been given the opportunity here in the BYD York dealership, the DM Keith York dealership, to show you this particular car. Now this particular car, there's only two of them in the whole of the UK. It's a pre-production version, and I'm going to be showing you around the exterior and showing you around the interior of the car. So who are BYD? BYD is the largest manufacturer of cars that you've never heard of. They have this amazing battery technology, the Blade battery. Make sure you check that out on YouTube. They've done all sorts of tests to it and it's really safe. And they've made over 6 million vehicles and their growth is just crazy. You might have seen some of their buses and you don't even know. BYD are everywhere and they are taking the world by storm with their YangWang brand, which is their luxury brand, and they have the two vehicles, the YangWang U8 and the YangWang U9. I've already made a video of the U8, so if you want to check that video out, click the link up here. But for this video, I'll show you around the U9. So what is the U9? The U9 is a hypercar. It's a fully electric hypercar that produces 1300 horsepower, and it looks every bit a hypercar. But the crucial thing about this car is the cost. It only costs around, I believe it's £200,000. I might be wrong on that. If I am, let me know in the comments, but I believe in the Chinese equivalent currency in China, it costs only around £200,000. And that's pretty crazy for what you get. The car does 0 to 60 in around 2 seconds. Again, they're still going through testing. They're going to be testing the car at Nürburgring, so we're going to probably hear more and more about this car. But let's take a look around it. Let me show you around the exterior of the car. So to start with, on the front here, you've got the in Chinese script, you've got the symbol for electricity, and that shows the sort of commitment that BYD and YangWang have to electrical cars, to new energy vehicles. That's your hybrid and your electric vehicles. And then let's take a look at these sort of 3D headlights which go all the way around in a more of a sort of boomerang theme with the daylight running lights on them. They look really cool, and when they're on like they are right now, they make the car, they give the car a bit more presence and make it look really sporty. I imagine all this is meant to be really nice and streamlined. As we move towards the side of the car, now you get to see a bit more of the sort of carbon fiber features that you can see. The carbon fiber roof, you've got the carbon fiber side skirts and loads of carbon fiber features in the car, and it looks really good. You've got the sort of air intake areas here. I'm not sure if they're real. I don't want to prod the car too much, but yeah. And then as we move further back towards the back of the car, you've got this massive rear wing which looks really good, and then you've got the sort of fin in the middle which is kind of like race cars, and again that's for aerodynamics. Before I show you the very back of the car, I do want to show you this. So if I press this button here, that opens the charging port. Now this car is capable, I believe, and it's claimed that this car is capable of charging to 500 kilowatt hours. Now that's super fast charging, but what's also impressive is this particular car has the same charging port on the other side, and it's capable of taking 2 charging guns at once, so you can charge it twice as fast. I think that's pretty crazy. Let's close that. And we'll move more towards the back of the car, because the back of the car looks really impressive as well. You've got this sort of light bar that goes all the way along, this really thick chunky light bar which looks really cool. And then if you move further down towards the bottom of the car, now you can see a lot more carbon fiber. You've got this sort of rear diffuser, and these flaps here, that's active aerodynamics, so they will move depending on how much downforce the car requires. Overall, this car is built to be really aerodynamic. It's built to not only be efficient, but it's built to give you that performance from the electric motors. It has a motor on each wheel just like the U8, and it produces around 1300 horsepower. 0 to 60 is around 2 seconds, so we're talking this car is chasing the records. Let's take a look around the inside of the car and I'll show you what it's like in there. So let me show you around the interior of the U9, but in order to do so, I've got to open the door, and you might be wondering, how do you do that? Well, there's a button just down here, and if I hold that button down, the door will open. And I think that's pretty cool, the way the doors open. They sort of open outwards and up. You get loads of room to come and get into the car, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Right, so getting into the U9 isn't the most easiest thing in the world because of headroom when you get in. But once you're in, press this button here and that should shut the door. Now inside, it is a nice place to be. The seats made of this fabric are nice and cushiony, really comfortable, and of course they have to be comfortable in a car like this because this car is going to be driven fast, and it has the suspension that can self-level the car, so you're going really fast around the corner, the car can stay flat. So that should translate into a comfortable driving experience for the driver and the passenger inside the car. Looking around this cabin though, you've got this sort of alcantara soft leather in this sort of purple color. Again, that's sort of reminds you of the sort of sporty appeal of this car. You've got the steering wheel in front of you made of leather with stitching in there, but it's also got some carbon fiber. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera very well, but it's got some carbon fiber. But you'll notice the steering wheel of this is actually quite similar to the steering wheel of the Seal, which is just over there. But again, no complaints, it does look pretty cool. You'll also notice behind me there's no rear windscreen. I can't see out of the back. There's a bit of storage space back here, but I can't see out the back. And so in order to solve that problem, the solution is this mirror here. I mean, it's a camera, but there must be a camera mounted at the back of the car, and that's what shows you what's behind. And currently behind this car is the BYD Seal U, and that's what you can see over there. But yeah, that's the interior camera. You've got this this sort of center console screen, which, oh, that's already on home. If I press, for example, that button there, it is pretty responsive. Let's go back. We can't. Let's not move the seats. You know, we can go to all your apps, and actually they are displayed in a bit more of an iPhone system, so that's pretty cool. You can you got cameras. Yeah, I don't know what these means. I'm assuming that might mean the sport mode and the driving settings, but I'm just messing around with stuff that I don't know here. Basically, long story short, what I'm trying to say is the interior of this car is pretty sporty and but also pretty comfortable. It's a lovely place to be, and I think it will translate into a very interesting driving experience. So yeah, I can't wait to see these cars on the road, whether that be in China or if it's coming here to the UK or to Europe. But ultimately, I think what has been done here is really impressive. 1300 horsepower in 4 electric motors, at the price that they've done it, and tried to make it as safe as they possibly could have as well. This car does all sorts. It can self-level, it can drive on 3 wheels. So if you actually forget a puncture, if you take 1 wheel off, it can drive and it can stay flat on 3 wheels. And it can also dance around. You might have seen at Goodwood, it dances around, and it can bunny hop as well, so it can literally jump all 4 wheels off the ground. We don't know what the purpose of that exactly is yet, but again, it's a pretty impressive exercise in what's possible, and what's exciting for the future in these sort of new energy vehicles. So all that's left to say is thank you very much for DM Keith and BYD York for allowing me to take a look around this car, to explore this car. Not many people get to do stuff like this. You literally just get to see these cars from the outside, and I'm sitting inside one right now, so that's pretty crazy. So thank you very much to DM Keith, and thank you very much to BYD York, and of course thank you very much to you guys for watching this video. And if you have any comments, if you want to let me know something about this car that I might not know, let me know in the comments below. But I think it's a pretty cool car. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.